Scoodly doodly doo, it's time for another Welch review. Scoodly doodly doo.
Alright, gang, welcome back to another thrilling episode of the Welch Review.
Yay!
Shia surprise!
Yeah, today we're talking about a Shia Labeouf, or at least it should be a Shia Labeouf film. Unfortunately, he's not the only character in the movie, so, who else do we have in The Tax Collector?
So, in The Tax Collector, like you said, Sam, we do have Shia Labeouf. His character is called Creeper, which is, I feel like...
for Shia? Yeah.
It's a good synonym.
From the star of Disturbia comes Creeper. Yeah.
You have Bobby Soto playing David. You have Cynthia Carmona as Alexis. Jose Conejo as... Jose Conejo Martin as Conejo, who's the bad guy. Sorry. Cheyenne Ray Hernandez as Gata. Clay Sloan as Bone. Clay Sloan as Bone. Yeah. George Lopez as Uncle Lewis. Jimmy Smits as the Wizard, and this was written and directed by David Ayer, who made Suicide Squad and wrote Training Day.
Yeah.
This is also the second time him and Shia LaBeouf have teamed up. Previously in Fury, and also Clay Sloan, right, who plays like one of the Bloods, who he teams up with.
Oh yeah.
He was a gang member of the same gang he's in The Tax Collector. He was in the same gang back in Training Day.
That's
so
fun.
Like that's been
it's carryover.
It's
gang.
carryover gang.
Yeah.
But basically,
now he's way older.
Exactly, but like he's been in the game for so long.
Yeah.
Think of all the things that Clay Bone has seen.
Yeah, Bone's veteran.
Out there on the street. They should have just made the movie about him.
Yeah. Call it Bonin.
But
Alright, so aside from Clay Sloan,
man,
yeah,
arguably the best part of this film.
The Tax Collector, Shia LaBeouf's the best part. You take that back. Clay can be number 2.
Okay.
But he's a star.
Well, this movie deals with like a typical David Ayer thing, right? The streets of L.A.
Yeah.
Right, and it focuses on what seems to be like the Latin Mafia. And these two people, Creeper and David, who are the tax collectors. And what that means is from every gang, from every criminal organization, they have to pay a piece, a toll, right, up to the higher-ups. And they are the ones who collect it.
Yeah, so they just go around and they collect money. And it's a good time. And then this all happens up until this breaking point where...
Conejo.
Conejo comes in a minute, but there's one of the gangs that they collect from was withholding money.
Oh, right.
They withheld like $20,000. And so they have to make this night run, and basically they find out that this guy, his child has leukemia. So he was holding back the money to try to pay for his kid's leukemia. So Martin lets him keep the money. David?
Yeah.
Not Martin. Sorry. David lets him keep the money because, this kid has leukemia and David has a soul, unlike Creeper. Creeper's just a creeper. But then they get a lead on this other way to make, all that money back just immediately. And it gets real bad from there because that's when Conejo comes in, and we find out that Conejo is actually trying to squeeze in on the Wizard, who is the higher up because he sees all, right? He's got crazy wizard eyes.
From
Adventure
Crazy
Time,
Wizard Eyes.
So Conejo is trying to squeeze in on this turf. And that's where things start to escalate. Basically, it tells Creeper and Martin, hey man, you want to keep your job? I'll take you in. And they're both like, how about you go and fuck yourself? So that doesn't go over well. Conejo starts taking down different members of the group, killing their leaders, not the Wizard, because the Wizard's untouchable.
Also because he's in prison.
Yeah. But he starts killing other people who are important in their crime organization as he tries to take over their turf.
And I guess, and that's kind of where we can leave it here for you, because any more would kind of give it away.
Yeah, it just follows Martin and Creeper, and they're
David.
Dang it, David and Creeper,
David and
as
Creeper.
they try to reclaim.
It just shows you how unimportant Bobby Soto's character is.
Yeah, he might be the main character, but he sucks.
Yeah, he really is, I think, one of the weakest points of this movie.
Yeah.
Just because, like, he's portraying, like, this guy who's real hard, but his voice sounds like he's still in puberty.
Yeah, the two main, like, driving forces in the film, as far as, like, badassery go, are definitely Shia LaBeouf and Clay Stone.
Yeah. Clay Sloan.
Clay Sloan. Dang it.
You know, like Clay Sloan, like toward the end, right? So David has this notion of being like kind of like, you know, business and keeping his word, right, on the street, and people respect him for that, which is awesome, right? Because, you know, there's not a lot of trust out there, especially if everyone's gunning for the same thing. And, you know, Clay Sloan's character, Bones, like, hey, man, look, you've always been, like, cool with me. We've been straight with each other. I don't want any bad blood between us. So he comes back and he plays a more integral role in the end, that alliance. But, like Sam saying, you know, Clay Sloan, you know, who seems like he's just been hard forever if he's been in this gang since Training Day.
Yeah.
You know, and then Shia LaBeouf, like, okay, he's like the one white guy in this whole movie,
Yeah.
and he's the hardest dude in it. Like, his tattoos in the film, he actually got permanently tatted on him.
That's wild.
Just to, like, immerse himself in the street culture.
Alright.
So it's like, yo, man, you're the baddest mofo on the block. Like, he commits to it. He even has, an accent, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like, he tried to adopt, like, you know, a Mexican slang.
Now, I don't know if it's just like a movie. It's probably just like cosmetics, but both of his ears are cauliflower ears.
Yeah.
He's just like this really hard Jewish guy who's like, yo, I bang all the women. And he kills people. Those are his two things. It's his whole character arc. He gets freaky with everybody and
kills people.
Yeah, you don't see anything like that, but that's basically what he talks
And maybe
about.
that's part of the problem, right? Now, I'm not saying we want to see Shia get freaky.
I do.
But, like,
I'm just kidding.
the problem was there wasn't enough Shia LaBeouf in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there really wasn't, and Bobby Soto can't carry the film on his own.
Something that they did do well, though, in the movie, aside from Shia's performance, is they did a good job making sure that every character in the show who wasn't David or a higher-up was afraid of Shia LaBeouf. Like, because Shia LaBeouf, right, not actually an intimidating-looking dude, but they made this aura around him that made him seem more intimidating than, like, he is physically. You know, that's not to say that he is in, like, good shape or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
We've all seen Just Do It. Don't let your dreams be dreams. And, you know, he's in good shape, but he's not like an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
He's not like a Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, granted, but he was a kickboxing champ in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, he was, you know, he's not, like, known for being like, oh, you're that super jacked action star.
Yeah, that's not Shia.
Shia LaBeouf. You know, so that aura, he really fed
Yeah.
into it and, like, definitely huffed the paint to get this job done. But all the other actors believed it, right? Like, so he really immersed himself in this role. And he seemed like he was having a fun time with it.
Yeah.
You know, like, some other things, like, I'm sure David Ayer was looking for kind of, like a gritty street film to kind of up his ante a little bit after Suicide Squad and Bright. I like Bright, and
I like
arguably
Bright, too.
I thought Suicide Squad was good. It sounds like there was some studio stuff. I don't know about that, though. But my point being, some of this was real cheesy. Like, for some reason, we're watching David do karate just so later we can see him do that move in a fight. And, like, it was never mentioned he did karate. It was never mentioned that, like it wasn't important to the story. It's like, yo, we need to film something. This will pay off in the final showdown.
Yeah, it's like they watched the entire film and they're like, huh, David kind of seems like a punk bitch. This isn't believable. Let's film him doing martial arts. That'll
give him
fix it.
credibility for winning this later battle.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, if you're looking for, like, if you really just watch this movie for Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Watch it for Shia. Like, he does a good job. I like to see him do more, like, street crime, like, gang movies. Like, that'd be cool.
I agree. I think one last thing that this movie does well is they're not afraid to murder people. They're like, oh, you're a character by, oh, you're a character by, oh, you're a character by. Like, not really afraid of doing that, which I think is good. I think it's important for most TV shows because it shows that, like, 99% of the class is cast is touchable. You can cut out some of the people who might normally in other films have, like, main character syndrome where they can't, like, they're running through and they're being shot out by, like, 50 dudes with machine guns and nothing touches them.
Right.
It's not like that. So I think that is important. I think that's good.
Also, the dude who plays Conejo is the real cheeseball, and, like, he enjoys it. I think, one, because it's his own name, like, his real-life government name, his name is, like, his middle name is Conejo, so, like, they're like, yo, what's your name? And then he's like, Conejo. And they're like, oh, that's the bad guy's name now. So he's just like, oh, Conejo! And it's like, yeah, man, that's me. They're talking about me.
Yeah, Conejo is also kind of weird because there's, like, some, like, odd voodoo shit with Conejo. Which isn't a bad thing,
right?
I guess it's just weird. Like, you don't expect it, especially because, like, most of the Mexican community or Latino community is Catholic. So having him just doing random, like, voodoo magic, like actual blood magic, is like, why?
But I mean, I guess it's also different universes. But he's not like a brujo. You know what I mean?
He's not a brujo. You're right.
You know, so
well,
like
brujo just means shaman.
Right, but I guess like if that was the route they're going, like he's an evil drug peddling shaman, like that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Shia, make that movie.
Yes. Where you're a DEA agent who has to fight a...
No, you're still a gangster. You're still a creeper. This is a creeper's backstory. That's how he got the name. He murdered a shaman with his bare hands.
I would love that.
But yeah, so The Tax Collector, not a bad film. The middle kind of sucks. The beginning and the end are good.
Yeah.
For sure. The middle kind of sucks. It focuses more on David than the rest of the cast, and it's that's a rough time when the person who you're focusing on can't carry the film.
Right.
So, I'm sure whoever plays David is a fabulous actor. This just wasn't it.
Yeah, no, you're not. Yeah. He's not hard.
Yeah.
He doesn't come off that. He doesn't really do. He doesn't sell that. He's connected to that kind of stuff, but. Like Sam said, it's not a bad film. Definitely give The Tax Collector a watch, and we will see you next time.
Bye.